Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Plant Doctor. Today what I want to talk about is a propagation box. Some people refer to this as a cold frame box, but this is a way that you can produce lots of cuttings, several hundred cuttings in a box this size. So this particular box I made this winter. It is a 4 foot by 4 foot, so there's 16 square feet of growing area in this particular box, and over the winter I probably had 400 or 500 cuttings in this box, and I did some experimental stuff, some things outside of the box in terms of media in relation to the cuttings I put in there. But even with playing around with some stuff, I had about a 75% take rate by using one of these. So let's take a look at it and we'll go from there. Alright, so here's the box that I built this winter. The first thing you'll probably notice here is that it is we have two 2x6s going all the way around. Alright, and then on top I just used some 1x, and what I did here, let me see if I can get where you can see. There's a 1x here. I have 2 pieces of poly and then another 1x up here. I do have a latch on it just to help with the wind, keep the wind out of it. I'm going to open this guy up so we can see what's going on. Alright, so one thing that I did do is I put weather stripping around the perimeters, because one thing you want to do with this is get it as airtight as possible. So I put weather stripping around the edge, and then I used a foam insulator. I did not do a very neat job. It doesn't have to be neat because it is inside of a box that nobody's going to look in. But I went around in all the cracks in here. I filled it with a foam insulator. So this guy was pretty airtight. If you look up here, so the door, I have these slats going across on the inside, and then also on the bottom side we have these slats as well. So the plastic runs in between these slats, and what I found out is when the wind blows really hard, it keeps this plastic from bouncing around near as much. In terms of planting media, let's take a look at this stuff in here. This is just coarse sand I got from a local co-op. There's a place down the road from me called Farmtown, and you can buy this stuff in bulk. I think I paid $20 for a yard. So there's 1 yard of sand in here, and you can see how coarse this sand is. This is what you want. This is the consistency that we're looking for. You don't want really fine, like pure white sand that you'd find in a sandbox, or if you've ever been down to like Gulf Shores or Destin and seen those sugar white beaches. That's not what we're after. We're after something that has a little bit of aggregate in it. We want some pebbles in it, all the way down to that finer stuff. And so you can see the depth of it is more or less, it goes up to the top of that bottom board. So there's about 6 inches of media in this particular box. In the corners I use some L brackets, and then about halfway down I use these metal slats here just to hold the top board to the bottom board, because we do get a fair amount of wind where I'm at, and so I want to make sure that this thing's pretty secure, and it has been. So I've had this thing for 7 or 8 months now, and it's done a fantastic job. Let's talk about what I put in it this winter. So this winter in January I put in all kinds of stuff. I put in Camellia Sasanqua Lauren, Camellia Sasanqua, I believe it's Kim Janjo, if I'm not mistaken. It's a cultivar of Camellia Sasanqua. I had Camellia Japonica Debutante in here. You can see there in the corner I still have some osmanthus. Has not rooted yet, but the leaves are still there, so we're going to see how those do. The camellias did great in this media. I had almost 100% take rate in this media. I had oak leaf holly in here. It did really well. I probably had 85 to 90% take rate. I had some forsythia over here in this corner. Forsythia did really well in this media. I had an L.E.R. Stevens holly. There's still a few of them here. I don't think any of those took. I think what you're seeing there, they may have taken since I've pulled the cuttings out of here. So I'm out of 50, I might have had 3 that took. And then I had some Yoshino cherries here. They did very bad. Probably, I think I had 2 to take out of the probably between 50 and 75 that I had in this box. So here again, the camellias do really well in this media. The oak leaf hollies did really well in this media. Also had emerald green arborvitaes in here, and they did extremely well in this as well. I want to say I had 100% take rate with my emerald green arborvitaes using this coarse sand. We'll go over here and take a look at the osmanthus that I have in here, and you can see that they're calloused over. They're starting to swell pretty good, but they're taking a long time to root here. Here again, these were all hardwood cuttings. They were taken in January and February, and I put them in the box. One thing I do want to point out, I'm going to see if I can get it on camera here. So when it rains, so if the lid was on top of the box, when it rains, you're going to have water collect on the plastic. And this is how I water this propagation box. I do not add any additional water to this box once I put my cuttings in. I put my cuttings in and I water them down real good. I get that sand to get in and around the stems of those cuttings. I don't want any air gaps in there. So once I water it, I shut this, and when the rain falls on top of this plastic, see if I can get it on camera. I don't know if you're going to be able to see here, but I have several holes poked in the plastic, and so the rain just kind of drips down into this plastic, and it keeps this box extremely humid, and that's what we're after. We're after humidity to keep the leaf material happy on these cuttings until they root. And you can see here, I haven't put water in this box in 7, 8, 9 months probably, but I want you to look at the humidity that collects in here. So it's almost constantly raining inside of this box. So as water evaporates out of the sand, it collects on the plastic, it condensates, and it falls back down on the top of these plants. So we're kind of creating rain inside of this box. If you have any questions or comments about this, please make sure to put those in the comment section of this video. If you're liking the educational content of the channel, please subscribe, give us a like. This is the Plant Doctor. We'll see you next time.